What's going on YouTube? Chase here on Aftershock Videos, and today we have the P.U.N.K. deck. Now this is also another cool deck with some support coming out in the Dimension Force box set, so I figured I'd give this one a shot. Now this one is really cool because it has a new boss monster coming out in the Dimension Force pack called Psychic and Punisher, and this card could be so strong, and I want to showcase it for you guys if I can. So let's go ahead and go for the card by card so you can kind of see what we're working with. So first we have two no P.U.N.K. numeral ogres. This one's basically once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to the opponent's monster's original attack until the end of this turn. And the other effect of this is you could send this card from your hand or the field to the graveyard, and you could add a P.U.N.K. monster from your deck to your hand, except at level 8. Next we have no P.U.N.K. Foxy Tune. This one's once per turn. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can gain life points equal to the monster's original attack. And this one has the same effect as the other one, where you could tribute a P.U.N.K. monster to special summon it, or you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to to special summon a P.U.N.K. monster from your deck, except a level 8. So those are really good. And next we have 3 Mythic Water Dragons. This one's pretty easy to get out. It's a level 8, so that ties in really good with the synchro levels. If you control an earth monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Pretty simple because most of the other cards are earths. The next coming out in Dimension Force, we have no P.U.N.K. Dianote. This one is really good because you can reveal one other P.U.N.K. monster in your hand, and then so you either special summon that card or the other card that you revealed, and send the other one to the graveyard and special summon the one you picked. So that's pretty good. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, or from the field to the graveyard, I should say specifically, you can target a P.U.N.K. monster in your graveyard, except at level 5, and special summon it. So that could play into some follow-up plays really good. Next we have 3 Psychic Trackers, which is just a level 3 Psychic monster, and you can be special summoned if you control a level 3 Psychic monster. Then next we have Yukio P.U.N.K. Sharakusai. This one is pretty good. This one's already been released. This one says you could pay 600 life points, fusion summon 1 P.U.N.K. fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So that could be pretty good. And then during your opponent's turn, you can quick effect, pay 600 life points, and then synchro summon 1 P.U.N.K. synchro monster. So that is pretty good for a first play if you get it in your opening hand. Next we have 3 Gagaku P.U.N.K. Wagon. This one is just, you could pay 600 life points and add a P.U.N.K. spell to your hand when you summon it, and then quick effect when your P.U.N.Ks are targeted for an attack, or I believe or a monster effect that targets a P.U.N.K., you can draw a card. So that's pretty good. The next we have 3 no P.U.N.K. Zayamen. Maybe it's Zayamen. You guys know how I am with my pronunciation. So this one says you could pay 600 life points, add a P.U.N.K. monster from your deck to your hand. So this is a pretty good searcher. And it says if this card is sent to the graveyard, you could target 1 P.U.N.K. monster you control. It gains 600 attack. So that could be really good with the follow-up plays. Next we have 2 Psychic Wielders. This one it lets you special summon if you control a level 3 Psychic monster. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you could target 1 monster on the field with less attack than the synchro monster used this card as material, and then destroy it. So it's got a little bit of synergy with its own synchro summoning, and then you can get a free destruction on the field, so that's pretty good. The next we have 3 Ash Blossoms, 1 Monster Reborn, 3 E-Tellies, because we are playing a lot of Psychics. The next we have Gagaku P.U.N.K. Crash Beat. This one says if your opponent activates a card or effect that targets your P.U.N.K. monster or monsters, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use its effect once per turn. If this card in its owner's spell or trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can activate this effect. This turn, your opponent cannot target P.U.N.K. monsters you control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So that one's got a little bit of protection in it. This one is Gagaku P.U.N.K. Wild Picking. Another continuous spell. It says at the start of the damage step, if your P.U.N.K. monster battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. So it's almost like a Mystic Swordsman kind of deal. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can activate this effect. P.U.N.K. monsters you currently control cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So it gets some more protection, and kind of like like I said before, when you battle, it's like the El Shaddai construct to kind of destroy. Next, we have 2 Brain Research Labs. Since we are using Psychics that pay life points to activate an effect, This kind of cancels it out, and then it gets you a free additional normal summon. But you just got to be careful because obviously when this card leaves the field, the controller takes 1,000 damage for each psychic counter on it. So every time you activate this card, you get a counter on it. But the way this deck goes, it really beats down so fast that you're probably not going to have to worry about it, but just something to keep in mind. So next we have 2 Infinite Impermanences, 1 Ice Dragon's Prison. We have 2 Jururi Punk Dangerous Gabu. This is a normal trap. It says you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of this turn. Then, if you control a punk monster, gain life points equal to that targeted monster's original attack. So that's pretty good. So we got 2 of those, and lastly for the main deck, we have 1 Nishiwari Surprise. Another normal trap says target 1 set card your opponent controls, or if you control a punk monster, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls instead and destroy it. So now going into the extra deck, since we are playing a lot of level 3s, we do have number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Basically, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you could detach the 2 materials to this, and the opponent's monster effect becomes draw 1 card. And then at the end, you know, if we want to, we can go into the Zeus. We do have 1 Virtual World Beast, Juju, something like that. And you know, this is somewhat relevant. It is a sidekick and it is a synchro level 6, since we do have a lot of level 3s. We do have 1 Psy Frame Lord Omega. We got a Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, which is a really good card. Then, speaking of good cards, we do have 1 Shen, 1 Crystron Quigger Grand Drac. Next, we have 2 Yukio Punk Amazing Dragon. This card is really good because it says if this card is synchro summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of level 3 psychic monsters with different names you control and in your graveyard. Return them in the hand. So this one is a compulse that targets any cards, not just monsters or spells or traps. And you can return that many, depending on how many level 3 psychics you have in your hand or graveyard, and you get to compulse that many cards. So that is really good, especially on a 3K body. Then it says you can target 1 punk monster in your graveyard, except itself, and special summon it. So it gets a little bit of a monster reborn in there too as well. And then this guy, coming out in Dimension Force, is Psychic and Punisher. This is a level 11 synchro with 3,500 attack, 3,500 defense. This is pretty generic. It says 1 tuner, 1 or more non-tuners, so that's really good. This says while your life points are equal to or lower than your opponent's, this synchro card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So it's pretty much a skill drain turn 1. So that is really good. This is once per turn, you could pay 1,000 life points, then target 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls. Banish them. Pretty good. And then at the start of the battle phase, you can make this card gain attack equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's. So this card can get out of hand really quickly as far as attack power goes, because figure you activate 1 of the normal, punk cards and you pay 600 life points to do whatever. So you're automatically down 600 life points. During the battle phase, this card gains that 600 attack, or yeah, 600 life points to its attack. So it becomes 4,100 almost right away. And notice that it says at the start of the battle phase. So this activates at either battle phase. So this card, as you can see, this card gets really strong really quick. Now next we have Geomath Final Sigma, because it is also a really good level 11. And then lastly we have 3 Yukio Punk Rising Carp. This is an easily fusion summonable monster off of Yukio Punk Shirakusai. And this takes 2 punk monsters. It says you could tribute this fusion summon card. Special summon up to 2 punk monsters with different names from each other from your hand and or deck. And then accept a level 8 in defense position. So you'll kind of see the plays that this kind of helps entail. But then it says if you synchro summon using this card as material, you can target 1 punk monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase's turn. So this card could be really good if played correctly. But that'll do it for the deck, guys. Let's go ahead and get to EDO Pro Duels, and let's see what this deck can do. Alright, guys, here we are in the first EDO Pro match. Let's just kind of see what this deck can do. We're playing King of Games. You fool! Let's go ahead and go first. Okay, not actually. That's pretty good right away. So we have the Shirakusai. We don't have another punk card, so we can't go into the fusion, unfortunately. But we do have a free special summon of a level 8, so we could almost go into the End Punisher right away. So let's go ahead and do that just to kind of showcase what that can do. And we got a Monster Reborn and an Imperm, so that is really good. So let's go ahead and special summon the Mythic Water Dragon. We'll set this Imperm. We'll go into Psychic End Punisher. Let's put him over here so our Imperm doesn't get knocked over with another Imperm. We'll set this punk card, and let's hold on to the Monster Reborn, and we'll end our turn. Ooh, unfortunately, he's unaffected by activated effects since we have equal life points. Or maybe not. Interesting. Gradle. No. Let's wait till he attacks. We do have the Monster Reborn. Thank God I held on to that, because then we can go back into the Psychic End Punisher. See, now we can activate Imperm. Target the Gradle. Now he's going to lose some life points. Okay, so we did Gradle Kaiju that, but we do have the Monster Reborn. We are going to grab our Psychic End Punisher back, and we are going to just slap him in the face with this. We're going to go into the battle phase. He's going to gain attack equal to the life points, so 700. He's going to go up to 40, what is it, 42, 43, 42. And we are just going to smack him with that. Alright, that's done. We can main phase 2. Yeah, we'll hold on to him just so we have something to follow up with. Okay, so now we do have a play here. We can go into this to fusion summon, then synchro summon a punk synchro monster. So I think that's the right call. So let's normal summon this. We are gonna wait, but we are gonna activate. No, actually, no, that's pretty good. We're going to activate that and gain some life points. Perfect. And then quick effects. So using... Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and activate it. Because we have to control monsters. Activate that. He'll gain attack for no reason, but that's fine. We can activate it again. Let's grab Dianote and let's grab Zayamine. Okay, now we can go into Berserker of the Tenyi. Then activate Dianote. We'll get another level 3 tuner. And then we can go into... He didn't like the first Psychic End Punisher. We can go into this. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. Do the Amazing Dragon. We'll activate it. I don't know how many we have, but let's go ahead and get this off the field, this off the field. Now we'll battle, and I believe we have it. Look at that, guys. That was pretty good. He kaiju'd the ever-loving hell out of me, and we were still able to get that win. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I like that you can just slap bombs on the board several times, and this deck is just fun. So I was actually blown away by that with the interaction, especially with all the kaijus. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this deck down below, and if you're excited for Dimension Force. Like you said, this deck seems to be really good, and that Psychic End Dragon is really good. So is that Amazing Dragon. Actually, I have a lot of good things about these cards. So I was not disappointed by this deck. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you feel like you want to support the channel, or check out my merch store. Got all kinds of cool stuff on there. I'll leave the link for that below in the description. Don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram. And if there's any other decks that you guys want to see played, or any other archetypes or decks, let me know. So guys, that'll wrap it up for this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.